Yo, what up? I'm just gonna slamming a random map here while I talk about the stuff. So I started a new fresh start, and instead of doing a ED, I'm now playing DoT Trickster. As you can see, this is a random. I'm level 80 now. I think character is like 8 hours played or something like that, and just a random mass map we have here. And I guess one thing that everyone is gonna ask is how does the placement of glancing blow affect this or the ED? And for both builds, it's basically 8 points of passing, which is not a big deal. It's actually a massive buff early game because it allows you to get the high blocks much earlier, and you don't need the jewel for that, so it's very nice. And you see that the clear on this is actually decent, and one of the big reasons why I think Trickster is much better than Occultist on this build is the clear speed. Like, you see the cast speed on my cold snap? I can just spam it everywhere, and then mobs just kind of run to them and they just die. And for boom booms you can run obliteration, or in endgame you would actually want to get a Baran explosion on a chest piece, which is a bit really hard to get, but it is what the end game would be. Currently, as of right now, the character has, I think, like 350k or something like that shaper DPS on 4 links with level 18. Yeah, level 18 gems. Where the hell is that? There. So nicely. The leveling was very smooth on this character. And if you're interested, in the description I'll have the whole leveling portion. Be aware though that it might be muted because playing music on it, but it's gonna be there. I started using Gold Snap already at level 16. Also, I need to go get that Sadie's Garb so I can craft it. There's finally my item level 73 Sadie's Garb. I actually have a 5 link already, which I probably use. Maybe, I don't know. I found this earlier, but didn't want to use it for the showcase, and I haven't actually even used it at all yet. Yeah, so we're doing DoT Trickster, and I actually went straight into escape artist from my normal and crawl lab. Just a ghost dance, mainly for the movement speed, but the ES gained when I get a hit is also nice, and then with escape artist it's even better. I should probably actually craft percentage ES on this, but I'm waiting for the waterways or like the evasion ES. Give me a bit more. But yeah, so here's the tree as it is right now. I'm gonna have the POB for the current character. I'm gonna have a POB for the early CI, and I'm gonna have a POB for what the end game would look like. But the next step at this point, like right now I'm going for Arcane Swiftness, but I would probably not take this here, and instead I would just go down here, grab this life there, and then take the glancing blows already, and then eventually just reach back out of that, but you keep the glancing blows. But yeah, so what I did is I just went through this. I was using Orb of Storm, went here, I went down here. I didn't take these nodes, I just took the movement speed there, and then I rushed straight into Elemental Overload, and then from there into Elemental Delirium. So that my build was like literally just like all passing nodes. And after that I started taking stuff like Arcane Expand, some life there, got those. Got this, and you can see I actually have Vortex on a left click, so it's automated. So I only basically have to cast Cold Snap, and Cold Snap gets frenzy charges whenever you kill something. Oh yeah, I got really lucky, and this is the mod. The graphic mod here is actually unveiled into the item. The item dropped like this, and it gave me this unveil. So that was pretty lucky. I got some other pretty lucky gear, like the helm is disgusting, my boots are disgusting, my amulet is pretty good. Other stuff, it's just random stuff. Oh, actually my gear is pretty good, considering I'm like level 80. Yeah, I'm really considering this as a league starter actually over the ED, but we'll see how I feel after I respec to CI, because this build, while you can get Zealous Oath, I'm not gonna get it. Because we don't have the crazy ED region, so I'm not sure how well it's gonna be. I suppose that with Cleansing Blows and some random ES on Block Shield as soon as possible, it's not gonna be that bad. And this build also gets Wicked Ward, because we don't have the crazy ED region, so Wicked Ward is actually really nice. I guess eventually, ideally we'd have the ES recharge craft on our rings. But yeah, if you got any questions about the build, ask away. I'll try to cover them on the next update video. But for now, I'm basically just trying to gather the gear to go CR respec. Here's the current POB. So as you can see, oh yeah, this is actually very important when looking at the POBs. So the POB considers when you take the EE that you're hit with cold damage. So if you take it out, your DPS actually increases, and that's because it removes the minus 25 resist. But the way you can circumvent this is you take the EE, and then here in the config you just put minus 75, because if you put the 50, which is what we have for bosses, because we just have some random ass Orb of Stormed to EE, so that they get minus 50 cold resist. The POB still considers the cold hit from the Vortex or from the Cold Snap on top, so you actually have to put minus 75 there, and clicking these doesn't actually do anything for your DoT DPS. So that's Vortex, and then we have the Cold Snap, and the normal Cold Snap is like 127. So that's like 330-ish K right now with like level 18 gems for Shaper DPS. Another thing that we have to do is, as you can see, the damage goes down a lot here, but this is here because the POB is not very good at calculating Bone Chill. Here it's not the greatest, but so what I've done is I've added a way for me to apply the Bone Chill effect, also Unnerve. So if I were to take Unnerve here, my DPS would go up, but the Unnerve is already included in the Flask mod here. So this line here is the combination of Unnerve and Bone Chill with the max effect at level 20 gem though, which I don't have yet, so it's actually a bit less. So I should probably like drop this to like maybe 50. That should be more accurate as of right now. And then the Unnerve we're actually gonna get the Unnerve from, where are you? Blade Blast. So when you hit something with a Blade Blast for 4 seconds, it gets Unnerve. This is also how we're gonna, like, in the very late end game, we can also get EE. We can just random Jewel for or maybe even a weapon. Ideally not weapon, because you kind of want the prefixes. But like a random abyssal jewel with fire damage or lightning damage to spells, and then you have it on a trigger weapon, because you don't really have much room for other stuff. I can actually show the trees for that. So let's go. So here is what was the plant tree before the respec. So this is like level 80, like 84 right now. It's pretty close to what I have right now. It's not exactly the same, but yeah. And then I don't include this tree. I'll give you the tree that I have right now, and then after CI respec. So this is 86 points right now. This is how the build would look after we respec to CI early on. It doesn't have any gear. This is like literally just for the sake of the skill tree. And you're most likely gonna be even over 86 when you do this, if you were to do this at this build. So this does much more damage than I do right now, because we go all the way to the Breath of Rime. This is a lot of damage. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward tree, except probably have this. So I think you would probably actually drop that out, and then we have an extra point here, which would be the Cleansing Blows. I'm not actually looking for something else we could potentially drop. We could probably save a point from there. There's a lot of things you can do. You don't necessarily need Arcane Expanse either at all. It's kind of whatever, but you definitely want to go here very early to get the Glancing Blows, assuming it will stay here. So I'll just actually give you this tree as it is right now without Arcane Expanse. I should probably check if I get more damage by spending the 2 points here to go there. But yeah, I definitely recommend Essence Search early on, before you're like, have ES on block and proper jewel setups. Because of the Wicked Ward, you want the ES recharge to start off as soon as possible, and this is very good at that. Also, that's why this pathing here is not really nice. So I'll just actually save that. And then here's a example of an end game. So in the very, very, very late end game, you actually want 2 Thread of Hopes. One for face aggro here, and then another one here for Wicked Ward, Arcane Focus, Deep Wisdom, Utmost Intellect, Heart of Ice, Breath of Rime, and then there's also a point for Arcanist Dominion that you can take. But so there's like option here, right? So this right now, this is 95 points. I could take the gold dots there, depending what other, like the last suffix I have. It could be like resistances. So I kind of wanna take these, but there's also a very nice, like this cluster is actually not bad. This is 12 all resist with 40 damage, 40 damage, and it makes you a bit better against early reflect maps. You can actually do early reflect maps on this build. You just don't go like balls deep, cold snapping into like massive packs of mobs. So this is very nice. But sadly, these 3 points are still kind of worse than if you had a good jewel like this with ES, all resist, and 2 damage mods. So I'm not gonna click it there for now, but you could take Arcanist Dominion here. But yeah, so here's what the super end late game tree would look like. But until you have the first Thread of Hope, which I would absolutely recommend putting here instead of here, because again, Glancing Blows here. It allows you to get the Breath of Rime, Heart of Ice, and then it saves you so much points that you can put into other defenses. I still have the random lethal pride here. It's kind of whatever. I really hope that they include, or like don't remove the notables from there, or keystone from here, because if they don't, end game would still be taking the Pain Attunement from there. You would also then take Melding Cluster, and you take all of this out, and yeah, the build's more than fine, even if I have to travel all the way here. But yeah, it's 100% worth going here. But yeah, so again, this is gonna be included there as well. This has some proper gear from my friend. Oh, we don't have a. Actually, we don't have a weapon right now. So the interesting thing about this is that so we don't have extra sockets, but there is a skill called Arctic Breath that nobody really uses. Just pull it up. So we don't have sockets for this skill that nobody uses, but it has a comparable DoT TPS to Vortex. So what makes me, in a way, very sad is that endgame, we're better off dropping our 6th link. So we're looking at like about 1.4 mil Saber DPS Vortex right now. Also, Cold Snap is around like 670k in a hypothermia helm. Ideally, I would put this into a +1 AoE avoidance multi-modded gloves that have the Delirium, so 30% 30% more damage over time with +1 AoE, and then you would corrupt those for potentially +4, +2 duration and +2 AoE. So that would give you a lot of. So for example, let's just pretend we had like a +2 corruption here. So even just +2 on top of the +1 from the actual craft, that's like, it's a lot of damage, right? So that's what I would eventually want to do. But yeah, so what, 670-ish K Cold Snap with 1.4-ish mil Vortex, and if we drop the Controlled Destruction for level 20 Arctic Breath, the Vortex DPS go to like 950k, but then when we add the Arctic Breath, that's another 800k. Now suddenly we're actually doing like a combine of 1.7 mil. So that's a lot of extra single target damage. And this build doesn't really have an issue with casting that extra skill because you can just left click the Vortex. And in general, you just run around the target. Like when I'm doing map bosses, I just run around it, and you know, that's pretty much it. The weapon we have here is actually really not that great. What we want to do for endgame is, if you haven't seen the one crafting video that I made a while back, it's gonna be linked in the description. But instead of the wand, we're gonna be getting death cards. This is actually a very, very farmable card. It drops at least in the bulk map and Mudgeyser that I can think of right now. And we'd get either a item level 2 or item level 4. I think I'm probably gonna go for both. Probably gonna get item level 4 first, and then just like Frigid Fossilate. There's like some other, like, it's not just pure Frigid, there's a better combination for that. I just don't remember off the top of my head right now. But you'd corrupt it until you get a rare. So this base is a 40% LE damage base, so much better than the wand. It's slightly better than the obliteration base you could get, which is, by the way, obliteration is what you can use to get like a lot of extra clear speed from boom booms. I don't know if I'm gonna go for it. I don't know if I need it. I personally prefer to swap the shield charge setup to Vigilance Strike for endgame botsing, because we can use the Vigilance Strike because we're gonna be using a scepter on this build instead of a wand, ideally at least. So farm a bunch of death cards, get them on a low level character, corrupt into a rare, and then go find 4 other rares of the same type. Do the 5-to-1 rare recipe, and you get a low level. I think it's a Void Scepter. Don't remember exactly what the base is. And then you can craft it with like fossils. Try to get a +1 The item level 4 is for +1 cold with cold damage over time multiplier. The item level 2 is actually better, and you for this setup, because you would essence it with essence of, do I have any woes here? Yeah, essence of woe for spell damage. And well, better and better. I say better because it's easier to get a better weapon out of a item level 2, because there isn't as good fossil combination for making a +1 cold with the gold dot multi as there is for making chaos dot multi and +1 chaos for once. But I would not recommend crafting once, because once have the chaos stuff on there. You don't want chaos dot multi, you don't want +1 chaos for this. So if you want to do like an item level 2 craft, before you have a death base, you should just use a very low level, like a driftwood scepter. But also, if you want to go for style points, there is actually even cooler than the Monte Cruz Grasp setup, and that is the divination card with the Lord of Celebration. It gives you a shaper item, like a shaper scepter. This could also give you like the best base as well. And so the interesting part is that because the item is too low level, it can't roll any shaper mods, but you still have the influence on it. I think I haven't actually ever returned this set, but I think it gives you just a low level with the influence. So that's pretty neat for some style points. If that works, I don't actually know for sure. Go test it, let me know. But yeah, I think this is everything I wanted to talk for the Gold Trickster for now. Hopefully in the next update we are already CI, and yeah, I'll see you then.